Peter Gammons, MLB Network's MLB Tonight airs weekdays throughout the offseason at 6 p.m. Eastern Time back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Peter?
I'm doing very well, Rich. You know, it's funny when the Cubs traded Jorge Soler to Kansas City for Wade Davis yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was said to me, well, you know, Soler just didn't like Chicago because it was so cold. I said, you know, he's not exactly going to be sitting by the pool in April in Kansas City.
Yeah, the field froze here last night, Peter, and they had a tarp on it. They've got heating coils underneath it. That's how cold it is right here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good.
I hope you enjoy yourself.
I'll be all bundled up. So what is the one big move that surprised you so far in the winter meetings, Peter?
I think the move that surprised me the most was how fast, once Washington wouldn't put one more player in the deal, how fast the Red Sox did the deal with Chris Sale. Because, I mean, you could argue over the last 4 almost every year he could have won Cy Young. And, you know, he's still 28. He's got a very reasonable contract. And it's just 3 years. I mean, it's, to me, the Red Sox gave up a lot. I think especially Kopech, the young pitcher. But at the same time, you know, for a number one elite top three starter in your league, that's a pretty astounding deal. But I also give the White Sox credit with their two deals. I mean, they basically rebuilt an entire organizational pitching program, and you know they made up their minds that hey, you know, we're not going anywhere with what we had. You know, it was referred to by all sorts of people in management as a team that was mired in mediocrity, and they blew it up, and they'll blow it up some more because Robertson, I'm sure, will get traded, and Frazier will get traded, and they'll probably start the season with about 13, 14 new players from the top down to the bottom.
Wow. So where would those players wind up? Where do you think? I mean, Todd Frazier is an outstanding baseball player.
Well,
where do you think he winds up?
I'm thinking that Kenley Jansen goes to Miami, which early this morning we thought was going to happen. Maybe the Dodgers trade for Frazier and Robertson and put them at the end of their contracts are fairly decent, and you know, maybe that way the Dodgers could fill the hole at third base. And they can fill their hole at the end of the bullpen.
And so why is Andrew McCutchen up for grabs? Why are the Pirates maybe looking at themselves in a division with the Cardinals and the Cubs and putting themselves in the same position as the White Sox view themselves? And
to a degree. I mean, he has 2 years left. His value in trade is higher now than it will be a year from now. Mm-hmm. The difference between 2 years and 1 year. So, I mean, they're moving into left field because of defensive issues. And so they said, oh, we will listen. And they did. But Washington came after them, but they would not trade anything close to what Pittsburgh thought they should get from McCutchen. So they pulled him off, and he's going to play left field, and he's going to be at the Pirates Christmas Gala Saturday night. So all love. I mean, they tried to re-sign McCutchen in spring training. His agent wanted huge money. And then, of course, you know, he had the bad defensive year, and really until August and September, he struggled at the plate. I think his bat speed is as good as ever, but you know, it still decays his value, and so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. It could still happen over the winter, but it's not going to happen with Washington because they went and got Adam Eaton.
We've got Peter Gammons joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. The Bryce Harper sweepstakes, even though he's not a free agent, do you see somebody giving him 10 years, $400 million, and that team not being the Washington Nationals, Peter?
Well, I think what's complicated, Rich, is that the new basic agreement with the players is really a de facto salary cap, and the level at which you then have to pay luxury taxes isn't going up very much. And with contracts, by and large, going up, all through the middle and at the bottom, I think it's going to be more difficult for Dodgers, Red Sox, Yankees, the three big spenders, to be able to afford that kind of contract. I mean, and remember that year you've got Manny Machado coming out, you've got Nolan Arenado coming out. Harper is a great player, but I just don't know if someone is going to be willing to spend $40 million in addition in salary tax each year. So it may say he's getting $40 million. Then you have to add it. That makes it $80 million if he takes them over. And I think that agreement is going to limit players more than the Players Association realizes. It really reminds me of a salary cap, because essentially what it is, if the Dodgers don't get that way down and they're at a particular level, I mean, they could pay as much as 80 to 92% in terms of a luxury tax. And, they may be wealthy, but nobody wants to lose that kind of money.
So when Jose Bautista knocks on the Red Sox door and supposedly the Red Sox say there's no money left here, they really mean it. There's no money left here for somebody like Jose Bautista. I was a little surprised.
I think the Red Sox have, in terms of the presence in the middle of the order that they've lost with David Ortiz, with the fact that Pablo Sandoval can't hit left-handed pitching, I think they have a little bit. I mean, Bautista could play third base against left-handers and a little bit of first base and DH, and I thought there would be some way to do a 1 or 2 year contract with a lot of deferral, but they just said no. We've got $2 million left. We might move the pitcher, but we're still only going to have at best, we're going to have $15.7 million, and that's not going to be enough. We will not go over the luxury tax. I know, being a very wise financier, John Henry really hates taxes. So we all, but we're not billionaires.
Interesting. Peter Gammons joining me for a few more minutes here from the winter meetings. Again, MLB tonight is on at 6 Eastern time every single weekday throughout the offseason on MLB Network for some insights with Peter. And Dan Duquette saying that he told Bautista's agents not interested here because the fans don't like him in the Baltimore area. Is that a real thing, or is he just basically trying to throw a piece of red meat out to Orioles fan base, fully knowing that Bautista's too rich for the Orioles' blood?
I think that's more of the case. I mean, as it turned out, Jay Alou, Felipe's son, is his agent, and he was very angry with Duquette because he claims that he never said it to him; he just said it to the media. And I thought if he hits 2 home runs on opening day, and they beat, say, the Yankees, everybody in Baltimore will love him. Oh, what a great signing! I mean, of course. That's the way fandom is, I mean, one guy could in 30 seconds, a guy can tweet Jose Bautista is the worst human being in the world, and then 30 seconds later the ball goes over the fence, and Jose Bautista is the greatest signing in the history of the Orioles, better than Frank Robinson.
And what did you make of Brian Cashman calling the Red Sox the Golden State Warriors of Major League Baseball after the sale trade? What did you make of that one, Peter?
I kind of think it's like if he builds, and the Yankees are going to be really good in 2 years, but as he builds and he sees the Red Sox do that, it's almost like Larry Lucchino calling the Yankees the evil empire. And the Red Sox are the Yankees now, or what the Yankees used to be in the Steinbrenner days. So he gets that. I think he's just having fun. I think some of the people with the Red Sox didn't really understand the background and the humor involved. But and that was, I think it was 13 years ago that Lucchino called them the evil empire.
I love that. I love that sort of back and forth. And it's interesting, Peter, that you say that the Red Sox are to the Yankees now what the Yankees were when Lucchino called them the evil empire. It's amazing when you think of it, Peter, right?
Well, I mean, David Price, at $207 or $213 million, and you trade. I mean, they traded a lot of talent. They have a very good farm system, but they traded off a ton of talent to get Sale. They traded off 3 really good prospects to get Craig Kimbrell, a reliever at $11, $12 million a year. I mean, they spend very big, and they can do it now because Ben Cherington, Theo Epstein, Mike Hazen, and Jared Porter and Amiel Sorte were the best in baseball at accruing talent and judging talent and drafting. And, of course, they're all gone now, and it's just Dave Dombrowski and John Henry basically making decisions. And I actually think that I don't know if they're going to sell or not, but this is very clear that they're going to go for 3 years, try to win 2 World Series. And to me, that's like a sign. Would they then think about selling it at peak value and try to get $2 billion for them?
Wow. Last one for you, Peter. Who's the biggest fish left in the market right now?
It's still Kenley Jansen. I mean, he's the idea of him getting $90 million, any reliever getting $90 million is incredible, but I think that they waited just to see what Chapman got and then to just go a little bit higher. And I happen to really like Jeffrey Loria. I think he's a tremendous person, but he does view baseball players as he does art. And, okay, somebody bid $85 million for a particular painting. There's one that everybody now wants, so he's going to go up to $90 million and beat him at it.
Peter, thanks for the time. Always love chatting with you. We'll chat down the road soon. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks a lot, Rich. Okay.
You got it. The one and only Peter Gammons.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.